If I had to look in the mirror and talk to myself, I was gonna do it. Maybe read a book, ASMR, where you lean into the mic, you just hey whisper. I was gonna do that today, but nonetheless, we
Right?
are here,
Would have
man.
been an hour of that, right? Just eating cheese. Because I
I
bet that's
mean,
good. That's good
scratch the
entertainment.
mic. Not only that, I got the claw right here that you could really scratch the mic with. So it's like,
I got mine somewhere over there, somewhere too.
but anyways, man, welcome to One Mic episode 15. Uh, Jill, how you doing, man? How you feeling today, man? You looking kind of bronzy.
I know, man. The summertime. It's hot out here in Texas, man. Just you're outside for 10 minutes. You're cooked. So yeah,
Yeah,
4th of July.
you look medium rare.
Thank you.
Medium rare. I think I need to get out more. I need to get some. I need to get bronzed up a little bit. Um,
You go for your walks, right? You go for your runs and all that. You get out there, but you got that New England heat. You get the wing. It's like
yeah,
Texas. You
but
outside, you're like, what?
you know what's funny? 80 degrees here is our high, and that's y'all low.
I know.
So
I was out there trying to put the lights on the house to see what it looked like. Like the night lights, the spotlights. I was sweating at 9:30. Just I was like, this is not what. I was like global warming. I was on the side of the people that on the politics where they were talking about global warming. I was like, it's real.
yeah, the funny thing is, I can only imagine if we get 100 here. Let's say 2 days in a row, everybody's at the beach. Nobody's at home. Nobody's cooking. So your low is our high. So this is
Yeah, I,
why.
I I could show you.
Yeah.
There was a week of 101, 101, 100, 100, 100. I was like, and it's a hot 101 too. It's crazy, but I'm enjoying it. It's a good time. Texas is nice.
I,
You
I
know,
would be. I'd be frustrated, man.
yeah. You don't want to be outside too long though.
Yeah. So yeah, 80 is not too bad, and plus we get 80 with a little bit of cloud, and it's like you know barely actually sweat. So it's not too
Mhm.
bad. Uh, yo, let me. You know what's funny? Do you take a shower before you get on the pod, or is that just me? I'm just a weirdo.
Look, man, I'm in a situation where I take a lot of showers, but I take short showers. I'm in and out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like today, for instance, I'm on 3. I got up, I worked out, and then I went to my massage. And before I go to massage, I like to like clean, and then after the massage, they put all that oil and stuff, and I washed. But that's 3 today.
Well,
So
that
I
makes
washed.
sense. I don't
Yeah.
know why, man. I'm like, yo, before a pod, I have to wash. I even put cologne on.
Hey, you know why? It's prime time. You look good, you
There
play
you go.
good. You play good,
If
they
you
pay
look
good.
good, you feel good. If you feel
You
good, you're
feel
unstoppable. You know what I
Hey,
mean?
there you
So,
go. So
all right.
that's why.
I just didn't want to be the weird one. But it's funny though. Now that I'm actually, I might have to explain this because Gio has the beard now, right? And if you guys look at the cartoon version of us, the little logo, we don't have that beard, and I got mine. And
I
the
see.
funny thing is, I don't have it because Gio has it. So I went to my mom's house, and my nephew's kid is there. Kid is 4, and he looks at me and he goes, Uncle George, you have a great mustache. I was like, really? He's like, yeah, your mustache is great. But it's a 4-year-old giving you a compliment and
It
using the
just
word
shows.
like mustache. I love that dude. It just sounded so like beautiful. I was like, so I asked him, I was like, should I keep it or should I take it out? He goes, no, keep it. It's great mustache. I was like, I guess I got to give him a compliment back, right?
Yep.
So I go, well, you got beautiful long hair. Your hair is awesome. Kid looks at me, goes, but Uncle George, your hair is short and ugly.
Oh wow, he turned it around on you, huh? He's like a
I'm
sour
like,
patch. First they're sweet, then they're sour.
so I was
But
like,
that's
I'm
good
gonna give
though.
it a week. I'm gonna keep it for a week, so he's not disappointed, man. But he's like, but you're here?
You're making life choices off a 4-year-old. That's one way to go. See,
Hey, man, listen, man, we're bonding, man. You know what I'm saying? So
no,
he
it's
said
good. I
something.
like it.
I want him to see that what he said meant a lot. Just because he's 4 doesn't mean
Yes,
that you can't show them that it means a lot. So why not? So
that's what I was going to get. There's 2 positives you can take out of that. One, he sees that you changed your look because he liked it, and it shows that
mhm,
you respect his opinion. That's great. Um,
of course,
yeah, so
man.
like that's one way to do it, and it lets you know. The second one is that how much how much like a compliment, you know what I mean, will change anybody. You know what I mean?
I
So
I
it's great.
agree, man. I was
That
like,
energy.
but I was like, what kid says you the word like you're great at something? I'm like, and then when he said, "Oh, your mustache is great," I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh yeah, man, appreciate that little guy, man." All right,
Yeah.
but
Don't
let's.
sleep on these kids. These kids are nice, man.
Oh no, I listen, man. I listen, and Kilo saying I got roasted. Listen, man. Sometimes you gotta take. Sometimes you just gotta take it, and the cool compliment just overshadow anything he could have said bad about my hair, and I'm used to it because of people like you in the chat. So I've been, you know, I don't want to say programmed, but I've been accustomed to take those hits a little bit.
You got
So
that tough skin, right? Yeah.
I, oh yeah, it's part of my DNA now. But yo, man, listen, man, I know you and I. What was it, a few days ago? I think we talked about for about 16 hours. I think it was maybe
Dude, it
17.
was a long. It was a long time. It was a lot of time. I mean, it's just like it's one thing, I guess, if it's just talking, which is not bad. Like talking 3 hours, whatever, is not bad. People do it all the time. Like I'm also doing things, and I know you're doing things too. Like while we're doing that, so but it's awesome. It's a good time.
Yeah. So, and the reason I brought that up, man, we'll make this part of the hot topic. Just us having a conversation. And I know we brought up some stuff. We talked about some personal stuff, which I won't say, but you were waiting for something or an answer about something, and then I gave you my opinion on it, type of thing. Um, but I don't want to say you were praying. Type like it's not like you were. Oh, I'm praying this and that, but you're like, I'm hoping this
Yeah.
happens and it goes my way, and which it did, which is great. And
Mhm.
I know, and right before you send me the result of what you were waiting for, you said, what'd you say? You said, well, yeah, I visualize this, and I was like, so I wanted to have a quick conversation with you about praying and visualizing things in your life. Like, how do you see uh praying, just the word pray, because I know some people like to think praying is like, oh, you got to pray to this person or that person, or praying is begging for something, and I don't think
Mhm.
it is, but I like to kind of just hear how you take the word praying. Like, how do you see it in your world?
Yeah, I think to me, one, everyone sees that word differently, right? If you're really religious, it means something. If you're not religious, it means a whole different thing, right? And you don't do it, or you do it because of that. Um, I think the two that you mentioned, like visualizing and praying, is the same thing to a degree, and I can feel like the religious people going, no, they're not. But
Right.
let me explain. I guess it's like um, I think we all need to believe that there's something that's bigger than us that can help us in times of of us needing stuff, right? And prayer in the religious sense is like you, the the Father in heaven, the angels, and all the things that are associated with it, that you send to them, and you ask for something, knowing and that in faith that you're going to get something in return. But that's the key point, and people
Right.
tend to forget that, right? So my belief is, one, that they're the same thing. So visualization and praying is the same. Yeah, one has a religious connotation or relationship to it, but if if you look at the details and you do them the same kind of way, you I believe that you will get positive results. So whether I'm saying it's prayer or conscious thought that you're
Hmm.
sending into the universe and hoping that, wishing that something is going to happen, or dreaming, right? All this stuff.
Right.
Um, they're all the same thing. But I do believe that we have to still do our part, something. You can't just sit and pray and just lay back. You either gotta, like, for instance, you're in a bad situation, you gotta stand strong. You gotta continue being who you are. Don't let adversity change you into something negative. And then that
Right.
prayer will slowly, and you have faith in the background that it'll come back, right? And I don't want to be all over the place with it, but to me, it is very deep. And I believe that Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Yes, son.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, yeah, I don't try to connect all that stuff, especially the word praying with, let's say, the Bible, the church, or a God. You know, like you said, there's people who do it that way, but I like to believe that just speaking it into existence in the universe, right? You just put it out there, and things will happen. And also, like you just said, but prayers without action is doesn't really help either, right? So
Right.
if I say, hey, I'm trying to get this job, right, what I do is I'll try to visualize myself at the interview, shaking the person's hand at the interview, me sitting down, uh and then me saying, I'll start whenever you guys need me, I'll start ASAP, right? That's just visualizing. But if you don't take the action, meaning let me look for a job, then it's just not going to get anywhere. So you got to have some sort of action behind your manifestation or your prayers. It's not like you pray to get a job and you get a knock on your door and here it is. And I think there's
Right.
got to be some sort of motion behind that as well. So
This is the way that there's a lot of we got a lot of good comments coming through the feed too. But while I tell you this next point is the way I see it is, and forgive me in the way that I deliver it because people, I have a way of doing things. You get it, you get it. You don't, it is what it is. But it's like if you order something on Amazon today, right? You go on your phone or on your laptop and you order it. It says it should arrive on whatever 3 to 7 business days, right? Do you know it's going to show up on your door within 3 to 7 business days or no?
possibly,
Most likely it's going to end
most
up
likely,
right. They've got it
yeah,
down to a science every day. People. So the point of it is like the prayer or the intention, in sending to the universe is you going on your phone and making the order, right? The other piece that I was saying is you're going to get it, but the way prayer and intention, all those other things work is you have to have faith for it to come back to you, right? Just like your package that you just delivered is coming back to you. You know that because you have faith in either your God, your religion, the universe, whatever it is that you're asking for, you have
right,
faith that entity, that thing is going to give it to you. So that's the other piece, right? And then the only difference really is when you're getting it. Obviously, when you order online, it's 3 to 7 business days. But when you're talking about things that you want in your life, like you want a new Tesla, you want this new job, you may not get it in a day. It may take a week. And it
right,
might even be, you getting tested to see if you're going to get that faith that you need to have. So this faith with prayer goes along hand in hand, just like um what was it called? The visualization and
yeah,
belief, right? They go
yeah,
together. And I also think personally, there's a third piece to that. And I call it what I would call like the Holy Trinity, as people know, the Father, the Son, and the Spirit. The
hmm,
three has a sacred number in the universe or whatever. And pardon me if I don't want to get too crazy with it. But so the three things is you have to have the intent, which is the prayer, or we'll call the other one the visualization, right? The what was it? What was the thing that we call the when you're focusing on it coming back to you or whatever, the visualization, we use that word, right?
yeah,
So you have the visualization or the prayer, which is the same thing depending on how you're looking at it. The other one is the belief or faith that it's going to happen, right?
hmm,
And then the third one is tying it in physically. So when people pray, what do they do with their bodies, right?
right,
So they bring it together. So now you're bringing the mind, which is the intent. You're also bringing the physical, which is there, right? And then the belief is the spirit side. You get all three of those together, but strongly, truly believe that to be what it is. And then continuing to do your part, right? You can almost add as a fourth part, but that's all part of it, right? And I think that's kind of how that works. In a nutshell, I can
yeah.
get deeper with it in my belief, but you asked me. So what do you think and how do you go about doing that?
Yeah, like Mud just said in the chat, and I actually wrote it down too. Like prayers is a manifestation of reality. Uh, that's how I see it. And when I say that I'm not praying to something or someone, that's not us trying to be disrespectful or me trying to be disrespectful. Um, because while we're saying that, but we're still saying you got to have belief, you got to have faith, right? And these are things that you can, I would say, attach to, let's say, church or a God or someone you pray to, right?
Hmm.
But I still think one of the best things you can do for yourself is to actually believe in yourself, right? Believe in yourself, believe you can do something too. And when you start to think that way and actually play that role, things just start to happen, right?
Hmm.
So, and that's just how I am. I like, like I said, like if I say, "Hey, I want to get at this job," I'll actually visualize those words just flying from my mouth and just going in the universe, and somehow, some way, I believe and have faith that it comes back. You know,
Yeah.
and that's all it is, man. And it's just, and the reason I brought it up because we spoke about that. Not really speak too much on the praying part. It's just that when we talk, it's the stuff we talk about, it comes down to that, like the belief
Yeah.
in yourself and your surroundings, the universe, the earth, and all that, and it just comes all back. And that's what it is. And what I mean also, uh when I said prayers without action, like I said, you can't just sit there and want something and then you don't try to go towards that thing that you want. Right now, if you say, "Hey, I want to be a teacher in the next 5 years," well, you can't just pray for it and wait for it, right? You gotta attend some sort of school. You
Right.
gotta do some sort of research, right? You have to have some sort of action behind it as well. So, and that's
Yeah.
just how I'm
So
saying.
just a couple of things. I mean, this is, I think this topic we literally can talk the whole podcast about it, right? And I
Yeah,
think Mud is adding a lot of really good comment. The one that he's got, the way he said there is no out there, all happens within us. I can already tell when someone says like that. I know they're what I call connected, right? So
yeah,
Mud, I appreciate that. Mud, he or she, whoever you are, appreciate you watching and appreciate you participating. And that's great content and comment there. And I truly believe that as well, that, you, when I say out there, you know what I mean? And that's a good thing he pointed it out. However you want to interpret that, right? And I don't mean out there because the universe and God is within us. If that's what you want to believe, the spirit is within us. So it is within and not from the outside. And the other piece that you said about, um, praying but not doing anything about it. And this will tie in later to something we'll talk about later. But it's like you wanting to see a tree come down, but you're not willing to chop the tree. You want the reward of watching it come down, but you don't want the reward or the work of actually like the physical work to put it in. Does that make sense?
mm. And also
So
he said, "I'd like to ask you guys a question. How about when I ask you both to pray for me, that focusing on the energy intention to help me out or something?" Um, yeah, I think to me that's what it is, right? Like it's that energy that I'm putting it out there, and hopefully that's the energy you feel.
right,
Um, and hopefully that's the energy that snaps you out of whatever it is, and you just and you realize, you know what? I can do this, or whatever it is, whatever
right,
you need praying, you need us to pray for. And to me, hopefully, it's this energy that just goes throughout the universe. And maybe it's not just for me, but the universe actually listens to you and does something for you. Or if none of those things happen, what you're doing is you're making this thing work. And hopefully, something triggers and just goes, "You know what? Go ahead, you can do this. K- Go out
yeah,
there and do it." And and like I said, it doesn't have to be a thing that just comes and just it's believing yourself as well. And that's what it is. Energy is a big part of it when it
yeah.
comes to manifestation, I believe.
Yeah, another way to look at it, and you can look at it however way. There's multiple ways that you can look at it, but whatever way works for you. Just like diet and everything else is different. The way you work out, what if you and I both work out and do the same workout? We're not going to get the same results because the way that you look is the way different. Your body is different. The way that you're mindful, everything you name
Mm,
everything on the all the variables, it happens. So to answer Mud's question though, like you know, yeah, when you pray for somebody else, and my belief is I think it multiplies, right? Because if someone's hurting and they ask you to pray for them, that means that they're already praying for themselves. Now when you
mhm,
multiply, now you're just adding to it, right? And I think also whether you wish good or bad when you think of karma, right? Is they might get that bad, but then it'll turn around, and the way karma works is it's going to work its way back to you, because what you push out into the world, you'll get back, right?
Hmm.
So if you push out good in the world, you'll get good back in the world. People who want to argue that can argue all day, but how happy are they, right?
Right.
I know what I do, and I know what my life is like. Is it perfect? No, that's not perfect, but at least I have a
But
system that I believe is working for me.
but Gia, look at the example that I gave with my beard, right? A
Yeah.
4 year old gave me a compliment,
Yep.
and I was like, "Whoa!" And I gave it right back. It's one of those things like the more you give, the more you get in
Absolutely.
return. So
Yeah, but someone treats you nice, what do you want to do for them? Right?
exactly.
So the universe,
Yeah.
God, prayers, that's kind of how it works, because that's how the balance of the two work.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's like when you
Right.
have a water in a bucket and you spin it, it'll continue to spin because the energy just wants to keep doing that. Eventually it'll slow down, but you need to add to it, or else that water in that
Right.
bucket will decay, and anything stagnant turns bacteria and dies.
Hmm.
But simply stirring that will keep it for like longer, believe it or not. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
No, I believe. All right. We're gonna switch it. And I appreciate the chat chiming in on that. I know it's one of those topics that, like you said, we can sit here and talk about it and see it so many ways. Um, and it's just a hopefully nobody's offended by that, because I don't think we said anything crazy or bad. It's just believe in yourself is a great start, and then from there, um, we can teach you how to believe in yourself. But once you do, you know how it feels, and you could definitely, whatever it is you're going through, you can push through it. So, and
Yeah.
and like Gio said, we could talk about it for hours, man. So we'll try to push it or pivot to another topic. A lot of people has been talking about this week, where uh, a father brings a McDonald's to one of the kid, but the kid has three other brothers, and the mother got mad because he seems to bring food only to his his own kid. And it's a 4-minute video, and I think we should watch it just so you guys that don't know what we're talking about, and then we can probably give our opinion on it, and see what chat thinks. And hopefully the video plays. My internet is caca, you guys know that, but let's give it a shot. Gio, let me know if you can hear, and we'll just play the whole video so that way it doesn't echo for you.
Look, y'all. Every fucking day, my baby daddy come here with one fucking meal for my child, but I have 3 other kids. We have one kid together, but he only want to come and bring one thing to McDonald's. But what about my other kids? How come you can't feed my other kids McDonald's though? Like that's bogus as hell. Like you're not finna sit here and make my other kids feel left out, and you're only bringing one child something to eat. Look, there he go, and I bet you he only got one thing in there. I bet you he only. I'm finna expose the out of him so people can see how he really is. It ain't more than enough food in that bag for everybody. What's up? Because I'm finna expose you. What? Because that don't look enough for all my kids. That don't look enough for all my kids. What is that? That's just one burger? One burger, one fry?
What he like? What do you mean?
Okay, what about my other kids?
What about your other kids?
John,
They ain't my
why okay, but them your kids' siblings though.
So what are you talking about? What are you mad
Them
about?
my kids, them your kids' siblings though.
So what you
So he finna, my other kids finna be left out.
You didn't feed them?
You know I don't give my food stamps to the seven.
Lisa, how is that my problem?
But if you're trying to help out though, you're not helping out.
I'm not trying to help him. I'm trying to help my son.
But how are you helping your son when you're only getting food for just him and not the other kids, his siblings?
Lisa, you had
Them are his siblings
Lisa,
though.
you had to
He not finna eat in front of all his other siblings and they're not eating on McDonald's. No, why do I gotta put?
Bring him out to the car. I'll let him eat
No. He's not finna eat that shit at all if you can't bring enough for everybody.
Lisa, so you telling me that I gotta bring? So when I bring my son food, I gotta bring your kids food too now?
Yes.
You sound dumb.
How is that dumb? You sound dumb.
daddies at? Nobody told you to talk to them other. You had them other kids. They were your responsibility. They're not my responsibility.
Okay, but if you're gonna bring one, you need to bring it for all. How do that shit look that I'm letting one child eat McDonald's and all the rest of the kids can't eat no fucking McDonald's?
So
You know I get food stamps on the 11th.
That ain't 3 kids that ain't mine. 3 kids that ain't mine. What do
Yeah,
I look like? I bring
they're
him-
his
I
siblings.
bring him
You
food.
knew what you was getting into when you had a baby with me.
No, the f- I didn't.
Yes, you
I
did.
ain't know you expect me to take care of all the kids. They not my kids.
Okay, but you still had a baby with me who have kids with other people. I still have other kids.
Why are you recording me? First of all, like,
Because I'm exposing you. Everybody think you such a motherfucking good daddy.
I am a good daddy.
No, you're not. No, you're not. You're full of shit in this bullshit. You only come here with one fucking piece of food for one child.
the child that's mine, silly.
No, that's dumb that you can't feed the other kids. Don't feed nobody at all
Listen,
then. He
you
can't
had-
take that shit.
listen to
He
me.
can't eat it.
Maybe if you had 1 or 2, I can maybe. You got it's 4, it's 3 extra kids. What the f? You all like going to my motherfucking account, spending money on all those kids. Them not my kids.
Them are your kids' siblings, though. Dumb.
So that's what you gonna go with? That's the one you gonna
Those
go
are your fucking kids' siblings.
They're my so that means I
Yeah.
take care of them.
So don't.
where's
No,
the-
I didn't say you have to take care of them. You can bring them something to eat if you bring one something to eat.
I bring them food every other day. What do you mean? I'm not
Exactly, but you don't never bring food for the other ones. You know I get my food stamps on the 11th.
your babies.
Okay, but I'm saying we share the
If you-
same
if you-
kid
if you-
as well.
Absolutely. So if you want to, if you feel like I feel the way about eating, take him in the room and let him.
I'm not taking my kid
Or
in the
send him down
room.
to the car. He ain't got to eat in front of his brothers and sisters. He can come right out to the car and eat with me. Is
No,
that fine?
no. You know what? Fine. Give it here.
Thank you.
Give it
Grow
here.
up, bro. Like,
Give it
you
here.
know, kids,
Give
like,
it here.
You sound stupid.
Dumb. He ain't eating this. You.
Why would you just do that?
Because you ain't bringing up for all the other kids. You stupid. Selfish as a like you're dumb as hell. You're dumb as hell. He not finna eat that shit. Dumb.
Bro.
I mean, I don't even know what to ask after watching that, bro. Like, first question would be, is she right by doing what she just did by exposing this dad? Because when you go to Twitter, there's a couple of people saying that he's wrong. So I don't know if those people are thinking about morally it looks wrong,
Mhm.
but is he wrong though for bringing his child some food? What do you think, bro?
These things are like, you want me to give you just surface answer first? The answer your question. What was the question?
Just
Was
yes.
is she wrong? Right?
Is she wrong for trying to
Who's
expose him
wrong?
that way?
Oh, that's a lot
Well-
of questions. Which one? I'll answer. I'll answer the best I can.
What do you
It's
think?
crazy.
Did she expose him? Because expose means to make you look bad on social media.
Right, to try to show that he's not what he's saying that he is. She did not expose him. She exposed him, as the chat said, for being a good dad. That's what she exposed him for.
She exposed herself in a way.
She exposed the hell out of herself because
Okay.
think about
So what do you
When
think of the whole situation though? She has 4 kids. One is yours. You bring one kid food.
And it
What
sounds
do you
like
think?
his is the last one, right? He's number 4, right? So just
He
to
might
be the
be.
devil's advocate, he knew because abortion's the big thing right now. Everyone's talking about it, right? It's a hot mess. It is wrong what they did. That's at least to the degree of like taking the control away from women, right? But I'm gonna bring it back to the question here. He knew kind of what he was getting into to some degree. She had 3 kids, but that's neither here nor there because like it's not like he was like
Right.
I'm gonna give you number 4.
Well,
right?
we don't know where the kids stack up.
I
But
think from what they said, she says, I had 3 kids when you messed with me or something along the lines. That's where I kind of was like, oh,
Okay.
I think his kid is the third. I don't know though. I might be
good
wrong.
point. Good
Either
point.
way, it doesn't matter really because that's not the main point. The main point is he's got a responsibility for his child. She has a responsibility for her children, right? So, and when this is the thing that kills me, right? And I try to sit on the middle and think factually, right? He asked a legitimate question. She's like, because she knows he brings food, so she already knows she's gonna trap him thinking that like she's gonna expose him, right? He's legit right. You pay for your kid's food unless there's a better plan. So like if you and I both have a kid with the same lady and she's like, when you come, feed both of the kids because when he comes, he feeds both of the kids, right?
Right. That's
So then
different.
it's balanced. So like if I'm showing up every other day with McDonald's every day, which is the whole day, I'm not judging. I'm just saying pick something else every day.
Them
But
fries,
I
them,
digress,
them, them fries be hitting.
bro. He's better off buying a bag of nuggets from the store. It'll last longer. Now you can feed all the kids. I'm just saying, but I
Right. But
digress.
the point is, though, is the fact that she tried to expose this dude as being a bad father, but the guy is doing what he's supposed to do. Take care of your kid. It doesn't say anywhere where you. Okay, so
Yeah,
morally, like I said, it looks wrong, right? Because it's like, damn, you're gonna bring food for this kid, but the brothers and his sisters just gonna watch. It's not fair. Yeah, it's not when you think morally, it's not. If you're
yeah.
thinking with your
You don't bring
I
you bring food for one. You bring food for all. That's kind of
yes.
her intent, but he can't do that every day. There's no way.
No,
No way.
because you don't know what he's going through, right?
Yeah,
And I'll say this: it's the other father's job. And the thing that I said about the other father is, you know what? What if they're in jail? I don't know that. What if they're
that's
dead? I don't
that
know
was
that.
my question.
So
He
I
asked her. She didn't answer it. She
right.
didn't answer it.
So I think about those. That is hard. That is tough, right? But Gio,
Still
here's
her
the thing:
responsibility.
it's still her responsibility, and she's getting help from the government. So I don't know
Mhm.
how she's not managing that right. You know what?
Right. Because
So
they
let me
give you
let.
so much milk. At least you're not running out of milk and
So,
cheese and eggs. I'll tell you that.
so and for me to understand most of the things, I'll talk about something personal to me. My mother has 3 kids: me, my brother, and my sister. She didn't have one of the not one father on child support. She, you know what she said? It's my responsibility, and ended up doing 2 jobs. She worked at um oh my god, I'm drawing blank now. She worked at oh my god, where do you go to wash your clothes? I'm brain dead right now.
Laundromat.
Laundromat. She worked at a
Hmm.
laundromat, $4 an hour to feed us,
Yeah,
right?
a
Because
lot of
she knows,
hours.
yes, it's part of her responsibility,
Right.
right? And yeah, if the dad helped, sure, but the dad is helping. One of is helping, right? So you're getting help from the government. He's helping with his kid. So now, don't you think it's your responsibility somehow, some way to try to make ends meet and maybe go out there, maybe get a job, right? It's I know you
Yeah,
got
the
4 kids, but
circumstances.
it's
Yeah,
still part of
it's
your responsibility. But don't try to expose this man for doing what he's
yeah.
supposed to
If
do.
her other baby daddies are out of pocket, I don't know where they are. It falls on her. It is legitimately her responsibility. And I'm not saying this as a man, right? Like I'm not
Yeah,
saying
yeah.
like people want to do that. They instantly want to like everyone does this in every argument when it's polarized or opposite in gender, race, or whatever. People want to like either delegitimize your opinion or say that you don't have an opinion because or your opinion's biased. Look, um, my thing
Gio,
is
uh,
go
oh, go
ahead.
ahead, go ahead. You want me to
No, it
go?
was a couple of things. It was a couple of things. But yeah, no, go ahead.
All I'm gonna say is that if the guy lives with her, that's different. Like if you
Oh
guys in a
yeah, yeah.
relationship,
You take
that
control of
is
some.
an
Yeah,
I can be like, you know what? This is some asshole
but he's
move.
not with her. We
But
already
you're
know this,
not
right?
with right? And here's the disrespect. Here is the disrespect. Not only you try to expose me, whatever, you didn't, but to take the food and
And
throw it in
throw it
front of
when
me.
knowing you need it. Yeah, it's
You
she's
need it?
clearly. I mean, you
Come
already
on.
know the level of emotional and intellectual intelligence and maturity she has. You're by just
Right.
setting up. Gabby posted something really good too that we didn't discuss. That's great for having the chat, but like the best, a better option potentially is him taking his kid. He doesn't have to deal with her drama. He can
Yes.
feed the kid every day, McDonald's or whatever. Um, but here's the thing. Again, we don't know the situation. What if she doesn't want him? She just wants to control and get him to take care of and while she gets the food stamps or whatever, because 3 kids food stamps probably less than 4 kids food stamp, right? So that's one way to think about it. But what about him? Maybe he doesn't want the kid. You don't know how that is, right? We don't know the
Right.
situations. You just look at the little piece, and we're required to judge and make opinions. But she's wrong all the way
Yeah.
in this
Her
case.
attitude and her judgment is weird because
And
he didn't
she
tell
wasted
you
the
to
food.
sleep with these dudes that are losers. That's not
I
his
know, but see, you got
problem.
to be careful with that. But that
Right. No, no,
you're not
but
wrong. You're not,
right. But
you're
I'm
not
saying
wrong.
he should have been smart enough to be like, okay, you got 3, there's no dudes around. He should be smart too. But what I'm
Well,
saying is though, when you try to expose a dude for doing what he's supposed to do, like this
listen,
is weird to me, bro. You have
there's
not
other.
exposed anyone but yourself.
Yeah, she did. She exposed herself greatly.
And you're getting
But think
help.
about it. You have 4 kids, probably the one baby daddy that's feeding your kid. That's one mouth that you have to not feed. Instead of being blessed and grateful that he's
Right.
doing that, and maybe every now and again he might get a 20 piece. It's only 30 cents more than a burger and drink, $2, and a 20 piece nuggets is 250.
Yeah.
You know what
But
I
but you
mean? Every now and
so
again, maybe he will bring all the, but
why
he's gonna
not
be a
just when
freaking
I I'm gonna show up? Why don't you give me $20? Let me get all the kids' food
while
on the
you
way.
out there. Yeah, like, but this is
There's
this
a
is
lot of
when
ways we can talk about that, but
emotional and intellectual maturity comes in, and you don't do that. You know what I mean? And then what makes it worse is this is the other piece is friends. Please, if you have friends that are complaining about something and you believe them to be wrong, don't be afraid to tell them that they're wrong. Don't be afraid to tell them, like, look, that ain't it. That's not a good look. So when she
right.
goes to her friends and was like, he ain't shit, he just brings McDonald's. She goes, only McDonald's, that's it. And he just bring any other kids? No, only brought one. Like, you can't be that friend. You
Yeah.
cannot. Because you're adding this negative energy to him, to her, to those kids. It's just bad all around.
You know what's crazy though? I don't know if we don't know if she has that guy on child support, the guy that actually shows up, right? What if she
Yeah,
is getting money from him at the same time, and this is extra? He's like, "Yo, that's my kid, right? I'm gonna take care of my kid. I know it's
yeah,
food, but listen, that food. Let me tell you something. There's a lot of kids that would take that McDonald's every day, especially now it's summer. There's no
yeah.
school. They're not getting those 3 meals a day. Let
Two
me be
meals.
honest with
Yeah,
you. In this country, a lot of those kids, school is a daycare and a place to get
and the
food,
food
and
supply.
that is
Yeah,
it.
and some people don't
So,
realize that. Yeah,
majority of how it is in this country, it's exactly what that is. I need a
right.
babysitter. I got to go to work, and school does that for me. Most parents, I don't want to say a lot on most parents, but like, yeah, a lot of parents don't even know what the kids are learning. They're not even having conversation about it. They're like, well, he gets to go to school. That's my daycare. He gets to eat. And hopefully it's safe. And he or she comes home.
Yeah,
And then we do that the next day so I can go to work. Right.
but look at the kids that she's raised. I wouldn't be surprised the kids are all lined up behind her watching this shit show. Pardon my language.
I agree. Probably right behind her, just
And what are
like,
they exposed to when nobody else is
yeah,
around, and what they're seeing? Like, it's just, and then those kids grow up, and then they're a certain way, and then you're gonna judge them off of they didn't even get a chance.
right.
They don't even get a chance. And I don't. And these are assumptions, but like
Yeah.
I would bet you, the house is probably not fit in just off of her actions. That's my guess, and I hope that that's not the case. And
But the reason you say that, Gio, is because you've seen it. You know how these things go. I've seen it myself. There's a lot of places where you can just look and go, yeah. And the way she did it, and the disrespect by throwing the food, probably the money that he had, and he spent it on that kid.
yeah,
Now
she
that
don't
kid is
get
going
no
to be
stamp
hungry now.
until the 11th, apparently.
Yeah.
So she,
What if
I don't
it's
know
the
when the 11th is.
22nd?
Yeah,
What if it's the
exactly.
22nd?
Go get a napkin and sop up that soda on the sidewalk.
Hey man, I just thought that was crazy. And guys, this has nothing to do with a man or a woman thing. This was
Right.
more just, if we want to put it on the a moral stage, it was just bad.
Yeah.
Like at least just let it. I'll say this: a lot of the response on Twitter was, "Why don't he just get 3 fries and they all share or large fries?" But I'm like, I don't. That's not the point,
That's not the
right?
point. Yeah.
That's
If
not
the
the
point
point.
is she's responsible, and
Yeah,
if she can't do it, that's whatever. But she's got to do what she got. And I get it. Once you get to like 3 kids and now you can't work, and I know
it's
what it's
hard.
like. I have kids, right? So it's like, one parent can work, the other one can stay home to take care of the kids, or the other one works to take care of the kids.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So if you're by yourself and you got three of them, and they're probably all close in age, it's but
And,
this is
and,
the
and
point. You got to be smart, man.
a lot of people on Twitter, and I responded to one lady, man, and it
You
was
know who? Hold
weird.
on, hold on, hold on. I have to. Sorry, I apologize. But you
Please do.
know who is backing her up? People just like her. And I don't want to
Yeah,
be upset, but that's what it is,
that's what I
right?
was getting into. That's what I was trying to get to.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So
I can't.
I responded to that. I said, okay, so you suggest that this guy should get like a large fries, maybe two and two large fries, and the two kids can share. And she's like, the dollar menu exists. And my response to her was like, why don't you cash app her? Why don't you cash
Yeah.
app her right now so she can buy food? No, nobody
Yeah.
wants to do that though, right? If
Yeah.
you
She just wants
feel
to be
like
taken
this
care of
dude's
and make it
wrong,
happen.
cash app her some money so she can get food for the kids. You're not gonna do it. You're not gonna do it, right?
Yeah.
And there's two things for me, man. Exposing this guy, I just dislike that, man. Like you really wanted him to look like he's a bad person. Maybe he is. Not in this moment. Not in this moment. It This video is on fire. That you know what's probably gonna come from this because social media is so weird. Someone will create a GoFundMe for this guy, and next thing you know, he's got $20,000. Next thing you know, what do you call it? A company that makes diapers. You know what? Is your kid need diapers? You know what? Here you go.
Yeah. It's usually the
Who are
opposite.
you
He's gonna
exposing?
get.
This is social media. It can go the other way, and this lady is not looking good. And I read on Twitter where she's getting harassment. I'm like, she doesn't deserve it. But who recorded it?
She sure asked for it.
You,
She sure asked for
you.
it though.
It
You don't
was
deserve
you
it, but
that
you asked
invited.
for it.
You invited us. We don't know you.
Yeah.
We don't know that guy. But you said in the video he does this every day. So I'm gonna take your word for it. That's not exposing. And then you throw the disrespect is throwing the
Yeah.
food. My oh my God,
There's a
that
whole
is the
bunch of levels of that.
ultimate.
Yeah.
That so now you want my son to starve. Now you want my son to starve, and you want everybody else to starve.
Hey, you know what he could do? If the custody situation is a problem, he was trying to do it. That's exhibit A,
Oh no,
right there.
that's oh yeah. I mean,
She's
any
showing
lawyer
that he
can get
brings
that.
food every day. So he
Yeah,
brings food every day. Clockwork, because she was waiting for it, right? So, and then he gave her the food. She wasted it. And then, like, if I'm a judge and I'm looking at that, I'm like, yeah, that kid needs to go. She's already got three. She's clearly shown that she can't take care of four of them. So if he wants that kid, take the kid. If
yeah.
that guy, I mean, hopefully, like, I don't know, man. It's a lot. Like,
I hope it
geez.
works out, man, because you feel for the kids because they had the kids. It's not their fault, right? It usually you blame the parents, which I always blame parents when it comes to a kid, right? Whether the kid behaves a certain way, talks a certain way. I'm like, I usually blame parents, but can you blame the other dude? Really? Like he's trying to do his best, from what I can
Yeah,
see.
he might have
So
like $2 saved every day, and like that's on my kid. That's part of
that's
my
my
budget.
point.
If he goes $4 every day, now his kid can't eat all week. Like you don't know, but like he's not wrong. He's got his main responsibility. He don't know those kids. He doesn't owe those kids anything. She has some points like feeding one and not feeding the others, but like that's not his responsibility.
Yeah.
And you brought up great points. And this is what happens when you have communications. You use common sense and you come to a communication and agreement together to fix them. Like we come up with like how many solutions? Cash app, uh,
Yeah.
get a 20-piece nugget. You know what I mean? Get the kid out of there. Like there's a whole bunch of things that you can do. And
Yeah.
her solution is to cause more animosity between him and her and teach the kids the wrong way. Like,
Yeah. It's a
and then
sad situation, man. I just hope it works out, but I just don't like the fact that you were trying to expose the only father that's showing up.
we don't
Like
know.
how?
Mud just
Well,
said she's trying
well
to run game on all four of them. That's
but he
possible.
he did say if you had two, I understand.
Right.
But I
Four is
can't
a
do
lot.
all so which means they're not I don't maybe they're not. All I'm saying
No,
is is,
he's looking at
is
numbers.
like
Yeah.
I don't know, it's just so weird, man. I just feel listen, man. I feel bad for the kids. I hope everything works out. I just think her attitude towards that dude was trash. I think it sucked. If anybody deserve a little bit of credit out of all the fathers, you give him a little bit of credit. What do?
Right.
You trash him. Like,
Yeah,
give
he's
him a
there every
little
day.
bit of credit. Even if he's not doing much, you give him a little bit, because
That's
the
part of the
little bit
problem,
that
though.
he, yeah, the little bit that he does, it's what he can
Look,
do.
look, just like they say, hurt
Yeah.
people hurt people. She's
Hurt
struggling.
people.
She got 4 kids. She's living with, the decisions that she had to make, the poor decisions that she made, and having 4 kids, whether it's wedlock or not, doesn't matter. But just like irresponsibly, God, I don't know
Right.
how old they are. You're too young to have 4 kids and not be able to take care of them. You should have stopped at 2. But
I get it. I
is
get
that
it.
judgy? You know what I mean? Like,
Things happen, man. Heat of the moment, this, that. You have kids. I get it. But like, you got to be a better judge of character too. Sometimes, like, you keep having these kids. Maybe you should be like, you know what? Let me not do that. Let me bring a
yeah,
man that wants to be around me and my kids, and want to be involved. And let's not rush into having kids. I don't think I
yeah.
need it right now.
Because
Right. So,
because honestly, and I'm not judging or like, well, I mean, there's some judgment, but it is what it is.
but we didn't ask
She
for it.
got
She
four.
she put
She
it
got
out
four.
there.
She's getting the attention she asked for. Don't put stuff on social media that you don't do things if you're not ready for the consequences, right? And
Right.
if you're that narrow minded that you think that you're in the right, you might want to check it by someone other than your girlfriend to be like, is this past the friggin' the vibe check or not? And it
Yeah.
clearly doesn't.
Yeah, man. It's just, oh man, that throwing the food. It's just like, dude, that's beyond smack, a disrespect. I like as a dad, man. If I was in his shoes and that happened to me, I wouldn't react the way he did.
Yeah, he and
I
he's
would
already
go.
been.
I would go
Yeah, he's already
crazy.
had enough, and he doesn't have to. He only has to deal with her for like a minute a day, even though it's a lot. And
That might be a lot.
normally he probably just drops off the food. He's not having conversations with her. He drops off and bounces, and she's like, "I had it." He's gonna just pop a seed in me and bounce, and just bring me McDonald's
Yeah.
every day. Yes, you did it. That's
Stuff
sorry.
like that. Listen, people will probably get on me for saying this, but I'll say it anyways. Even though I thought about it, I'm still gonna say it. It's probably one of her friend, that one single friend was like,
Yeah,
yeah, he's
absolutely.
a
That's
dog. He don't
misery
take
loves
it,
company. Yeah,
man.
she wants to see you hurt, just like you know what I mean. You got friends like
Girl,
that to get rid of,
it's like, girl, put him on social media. That will do it. That will teach
right?
him.
She gave her the
Okay,
idea, and she went.
yeah, that would teach him. Yeah, sure, why not?
Oh, that's some craziness, man.
It was, man. Hopefully everything works out, man. I feel bad for those kids, and hopefully those kids, because life would teach you lessons that kind of way, even though it's harsh. But stuff like that makes great people at the end of the day. Sometimes, right? People that can pull through, especially those kids be in that situation like that, as they get older. And I hope that right there is one of those things that stays with those kids, and that's what pushes them to do even better and be a better dad to their kids, and better partners, and better human beings. So,
Yeah,
just being that low. So hopefully that's something that they can take away from it, even though it's hard, it's tough, and they're kids, but you never know. But
yeah.
there's some good people
No,
that
that's
come from, that low of a in life, even though they're kids. They don't know anything. So hopefully that's something that can get them to push forward and be probably one of the best human beings that
yeah.
has ever
No,
walked the earth. So
yeah. Like I was saying earlier, is everyone responds differently to diet or exercise and everything. Same thing,
yeah,
adversity. Everyone responds differently, but it is very true that you grow up in that environment. It can make you stronger. It makes you handle adversity, but it can also cause you to have a lot of post-traumatic stress stuff as a kid that you should not have to deal with, and or worthless issues and like personal issues. And just imagine how much better those kids can be if they had just a slightly better mother. Slightly. I'm not asking for a lot, right? And I'm not saying,
just a little
I'm
bit.
saying she's a bad mother, but you get what I'm saying. Is they're they're in a race with a backpack on the back from what their mother's
Mm,
teaching them or not teaching them. You know what I mean? So,
yeah,
and then their legs are going to be strong, but guess what they still have to do when they're older? They're going to have to take that backpack off, and nobody's being taught to be educated from the traumas that we've had in our lives throughout our life. So
Yeah.
yeah, you're stronger, but you still got a 20-pound pack. And then the
Yeah.
other issue, another 20 pound, and you're dealing with it. You're wondering, like, I'm strong, I can do it, I'm fine, I can do it. No, you got to deal with it. And she's causing these damage that we don't see until we see them doing things that we see other kids, that young kids doing. Like, that kid is out of his friggin' mind. Why? That is why.
Yeah. But Gia, you said just a little, right? If they can get just a little, I believe that father was given just a little. That's what he was doing for his, right? He was
Yep.
giving him just a little. And she's like, this just a little is not enough. And
Right.
I believe it is. We've come from some places, man. Right? And yeah, that just a little helps. And I think that father was doing just a little. And sometimes, like you said, that's all you need. And she
Yeah.
just slammed it on the ground. That's what she basically did, man. So, you know. All right,
That's a
man.
good point.
We won't beat this to death. So we'll just move to one more topic because it's already we're at the 1 hour mark already, which is kind of crazy because um you know, I'm actually learning too because Gio's like, "Hey, man, what are we talking about?" It's not we just kind of like go. Um, like we can actually just go into the news and pick the topics, what people are talking about. Which in the beginning I wanted to do that as well, but I think the real life situation stuff, the stuff that we talked about, or sharing our experience, I think is more. I think it's better than talk about somebody who's just lost $2 million but got 80 more left. You know what I mean? Like, ooh,
Yeah.
oh my God, you didn't get the job. Oh my God, you didn't get the contract. Like, you know, and and I think that the real life situation stuff, I think means more. Personal experience that we share with you guys means more. And and I told Gio, I was like, bro, I'll ask you 3 questions. I know it was gonna last. You know, we just got to put a
Yeah.
cap on it somewhere because it could keep going. And add in chat as well. And I don't know how much words per minute Mud can type, but
Mud
Jesus,
is, mud is mud is not playing. I like it, man. You know what I
uh,
mean? It's like having a third potter, man.
Mud is going in, man. And like I can't
Like,
even keep up because I'm reading this and I'm making
Tech,
sure the stream is going.
you have no idea. That's how I feel when you're on Twitch and you're gaming, and I just like, you say something, I'm like, and I'm waiting for you to respond. I'm like, again, it's just a thing, man. It's great. It's what makes potting and interacting with social media people great, because like famous people are not attainable. But
Hmm.
if you find a regular person, that's pretty cool. You're like, oh, I can, you know what I mean? I can watch
Yeah,
that. So
yeah.
we appreciate it, man.
33, 34. 33 and 34 is not old, man. Stop it. You could be 60 and feel good up here
Yeah,
and, and, and be
if
young.
you think you're
Stop it.
old, then you're gonna be old. Your body, remember, the universe is listening, Mud. It's listening to you.
Yeah. Now
I'm way older. I'm way older than you. Put it that way.
and
Tech's
look
way
at
older than
this.
me.
Whoa, what? Listen, I got no
Aren't
one
you the big
here.
brother? Neither do
No,
I.
I'm big. I'm big. I don't mean I'm the older brother. God damn, right? Anyways,
We have similar outlook, Mud, because we're brothers, man. We're close. So
you know what it is though? It's just having conversation though. That's how you get to that point, right? It's just
yeah,
like Gio can tell me some craziness, and I go expound on that. I don't go, yo, you're crazy. I go, no, let me
yeah,
hear it, and then I'd be like, yeah, I thought about that too, and we'll have a conversation. And yeah, that's what it is, man. A simple conversation will get you there. And sometimes being a good listener, you learn. And and sometimes in life it's that simple, man. A
yeah,
conversation and just being a good listener, man. That's all it is.
yeah. Listening
Uh,
and then supporting, right? So like,
yeah,
if you're in a relationship with somebody, and relationship meaning any relationship that you could think of, having an open, honest relationship and being honest and non-judgmental you'll be surprised how that relationship can grow and how much you can grow and learn in the process. And everybody needs
Right.
one. Everybody needs at least somebody. But if you could do that with everybody or as many people as you're close to, you know what I mean? Then it'd be great.
Yeah. Hey, Gio, you know what's crazy? Remember you asked me, you said, hey, when was that point when you were like, whoa, right? When it's just some personal stuff that you and I talked about, but you asked me, it was like, hey, when was that moment when you were like, is there something? Is there, what is it? Like when you discovered yourself. And
Yeah.
I told you that story when I looked in the mirror, right?
Mhm.
And as I'm reading the chat, Mud said, looking at each other is like looking in the mirror. That word mirror, literally, that's what I had to do, Mud. I literally looked in the mirror and looked back at myself and saw through me. And that day, something happened. It was just like, I wasn't happy with myself. I was like, nah, I'm better than this. I'm a great person. I need to be here, here, here. I need to do this, this, this. Why am I not doing it? And that day changed my life, man. And it was looking in the mirror. And it's funny you said that because when people say, hey, you need to look yourself in the mirror sometimes, we hear it, but we just go, okay, sounds cool. I
Yeah.
literally I literally did that. Literally did
Yeah.
that. So yeah, man, it was changed my life, man. And here I am. And you know what? I'm still learning. And that's the good part about it. I'm still learning. Not only am I learning about myself, but I'm learning about other people. Like when Gio and I talk, like, bro, I listen, I'm learning what he's been through, and it's almost like I'm going through it without going through it, right? That's a learned experience. And I've always said, like, the smartest people in the world is just people who's gone through experience and
Yeah.
learned experience.
Yeah.
That's
You
just
could
what
you
it
could learn
is.
from other people's mistake. They go in the jungle and a tiger jumped up. Hey, I
Yeah.
don't go in the jungle. So you learn, right? Or you can go if you want to. Maybe dessert.
I'm not dessert. I'm not gonna go in that jungle.
Yeah.
Empathy, my brother. Oh no. Oh,
It's it's Tech's
that's.
middle name right there, man.
Oh, come on, man. Listen, man. Like,
You
it's
can't spell
probably.
empathy without Tech. Can you?
Listen,
Hold on.
listen. You probably can, but man, listen. That we'll leave that for a different day. But that right there, that's the engine that runs my mind and my heart. Honestly,
Yeah.
that's what runs. That's the core of CV Tech. So, but anyways, man, let's yeah. Do you want to get to the topic?
Yeah.
Uh,
What do we got?
the announcer.
Yeah. The
All right.
announcers, sports announcers, right? Our top three announcers, top three sports announcers, top right? Does it matter? Any
Yeah,
announcer.
any announcer. We're talking about video games or sports.
Okay.
So I mean, if you want, I can start it off,
Yeah, you can go one.
and then
What
we'll
you
go
got?
from there. And chat, if you have a top three announcers that you like in video games or sports that you watch nowadays, hey, let us know, man. Um, my first one is going to be, even though I don't play the game anymore, I
This
don't
guy.
want to say anymore. I don't play the game often,
Hmm.
right? And Gio just asked me 2 days
Yes, I
ago.
did. Yes, I did. You gave me the same answer you've been giving me for like 10 years.
That is
It's
true, but that's
all good. I
consistent and
understand.
being
I got it.
honest though.
Yeah,
That's
right. And I
I'm being
understand. I
yeah.
did my part. I'll ask once and then I'll leave it alone.
No, you should keep asking because it's not final, right?
Right. It's always
So,
changing.
but I will say, John Madden and Pat Summerall was one of my favorites uh announcers to
Is
me.
that a combination, right? Them
It's
together?
yes, they have to
Hmm.
be together. You can't have one without the other. John Madden and Pat Summerall was one of my favorites. I think one of the best uh games that I enjoyed, it was always when they do Dallas Cowboys. And I was a
Yeah.
Dallas Cowboys fan at that time with Emmitt Smith, Michael Irvin, Novacek, Joe Aikman, Harper, Woodson. Oh
Hmm.
my God, Charles Haley, Ken Norton. Man, I can tell you the entire team, brother.
Yeah.
And when John Madden used to do those games, man, especially when they played Cowboys would play the Cardinals, man. It's one of my favorites. commentators, just because John Madden with the booms and through your ear holes,
Yeah.
and that wasn't just in Madden football. He would actually say those things in real life, right? Watching a real game. So I'm definitely 100%. I got to go with John Madden. Pat Summerall is on my list. So I'll say that. What about you, Jay? You got one, or do you want me to go all three?
No, I'll go. It is the same. So since you mentioned Madden, because I'm a
Oh,
big Madden fan, right? So, but even more to touch up on some of the things that you didn't. Yeah, we're talking about announcers, but you know how great John Madden was. Like he played the sport as an offensive lineman, right? And then won championships. Went and played as a coach, or was a coach for the Raiders. Won a championship, right? So like when he was pretty well like known as a player. He was big. He was a story I remember somebody saying about him where like this is like the 60s or something like that, right? 70s. And he went to try out for the Cowboys or whatever. They didn't have pants that fit this man. Nowadays they do because like they know, right? But this is the
right.
60s, 70s, and they were just like large is large. If you can't fit in that, I don't know what to tell you. Go get a blanket. So like he was a huge offensive lineman, and then he was smart because offensive linemen are smart. So and then he found his way into coaching and became successful there. And then in announcing, like you said, the booms, the pows, the color commentation. It was nothing like. I remember being 16 and watching it, and it was just like it was pure entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
He would go off on it, especially God help you, and this is why I'm like the color commentator for this pick for us is I remember him talking about players that were doing this trick where they would put Vaseline on their jerseys and wear tight jerseys so you can't grab them.
Right.
You wouldn't know that if John Madden didn't tell us that.
Yeah.
Like that the only person that was as close to that, and not to skip ahead, but he may not be on the list, is Tony Romo. Did it in the way of they came out in this package, expect this receiver to go that way. That's why. But John Madden, not just a game. He was a great man. Rest in peace. He did great things.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, man. Yeah. What was it called? They said they used to spray the stuff on the jersey where you can't
Yeah.
hold on
Yeah.
to it. I was like, wait, what? I
Yeah.
thought that was
The
a
slip
joke when I heard that, but it
and
was a thing.
glue for the gloves. The defense would wear the glue for that. Like it was all kinds of craziness. But John Madden would tell you this.
That's true, man. All right.
So
So it's top three. So that was my first. Your first is you got John
yes.
Madden there as well.
Mhm. Yep.
My second one would be Dan Stevens and Peter O'Keefe on NFL 2K5. Like if you guys played 2K5 football, man, with the Peter O'Keefe, there were like, to me, Peter O'Keefe, he was like, I'm trying to put it in a different way. He's like John Madden of 2-on-2 basketball, if that makes sense. Like an and
Yeah.
one basketball. Like they were over the top, like over the
Yeah.
top with their the way they go from low to high, and Peter O'Keefe, some of the stuff he used to say, like it's so hard to like for you to guys understand and feel it unless you play the game. But there were some moments in when you play that game. It's why I love that game, because
Mhm.
the commentating is an add-on. It brings you into the game, right?
Yeah. It's part of
And
the presentation, right? So like
this man brought out NBA jams. I knew somebody was gonna say it, but yeah, it's hard to talk about Peter O'Keefe and Dan Stevens unless you play it. Like John Madden, we know, right? This is a guy who actually played the game and was a coach. He's a legend. But Stevens and Peter O'Keefe is one of my guys too, man. So 2K5 still one of my favorite football games. Yeah, those are my two. Who you got for number two?
oh man. There's some that I think we mentioned some of O'Keefe's that's a game one, so that's a little different. But obviously the Madden, if someone was to guess, they'd be like yes. There's a couple other names that we would name out there that people would go yes, of course. This one, I think some people would say this person, but he's also an analyst too, but did a lot of commentating. Chris Collinsworth.
Yes,
Chris Collinsworth was also a player, right?
yes,
He played well. He had actually a really good career. He's been known to have a really good. He played with really good teams. Won a championship with. I don't want to butcher that.
Bengals.
All
Yep.
was it the Bengals? Yes, yeah,
Bengals.
the Bengals. Yeah. And Chris Collinsworth is just. I don't know. He has a way of when he does commentating that for me, just I could just turn it off and I could just listen to it. He
Yeah.
just had a really good way of doing that. So like, he did it in a couple other sports, but I
Yeah.
think
I
Chris
didn't. I
Collinsworth,
didn't like him at first.
you like it? Man. Oh,
At
at
first,
first,
no. At first, I didn't like him, but after it's like, all right, this is a dude who's like he's excited because you can tell he's smiling the whole freaking time he's
yeah,
talking. He's smiling, and you can tell he loves the game. I didn't like him at first, and then I was like, I actually
yeah.
do like him, man. He's just smiling, having a good time.
And
He's
he's
like,
he's one that's been doing it a long friggin' time.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah, that's
Um,
true, man. I'm trying to,
like guys like James Brown, but he's not a commentator, but he's an analyst. Remember back in the day it was just him and Chris Berman. You know what I mean?
oof.
And it's just great. And that Chris
Um,
Berman's a
hey, listen, if you
if,
watch any of my if you go to CV Tech One and you watch my reaction videos, a couple of times I'm like whoop whoop. I'm like people
yeah,
probably won't even pick up on. I'm like whoop.
exactly. Like if you watched football in the late '90s, and if I said he could go, you know what I mean.
Oh,
You already know
the
what's going on.
way.
Yeah, so it's just one of those things. That was his way of
The
doing it.
Raiders. Anyway,
But yeah, so Chris
um,
Collinsworth, shout out. He's still out there
yeah,
doing great things.
that's a good one though, because like I thought about Collins, I was just like, man, I was not a fan, and then now I'm just like, all right, he better, that's my guy. So I watch my Sunday night football, man. Uh,
I'm gonna say before you say anything, I don't know, but you picked how many people so far? One, two.
I did two. So I did
Okay.
Madden and
Oh yeah, and then you did O'Keefe. Yeah.
yeah,
So I'm curious for your third one, and it's gonna be
I
one of two. It's gonna be one of two people, and I'll let you go.
okay. I will say this. So even if what I'm about to say is not your two that you're thinking about, they're part of my mentions. I guarantee it because I have like
Yeah.
three. I was just like,
Yeah.
all
All right, go
right.
ahead. What you got?
Some people may not know unless you actually play the game. This is from a video game from Fight Night. It is Joe Tessitore and Teddy Atlas.
That
I
hey
love those,
made the game, and it was.
bro.
I mean, the
It's
game was
hard to
great. The
understand.
game
Yeah,
made the game, but
at least Teddy Atlas does real boxing, and he's
yeah,
amazing. And the way he does it, the way he speaks, and the way he talks about boxing, you're like, this dude breathes and loves boxing. It's like that's all he does. And when you play Fight Night, which is probably one of the greatest, I don't even want to say it's the greatest boxing game ever because that's understatement. I mean, as far as sports, it's one of
yeah.
the greatest sports game ever. So Teddy Atlas, man, and I just love him in Fight Night, and I still play it to this day. I'm like, did he just say that? Did he just say what I just did?
Hmm.
And to me, it blows my mind because he's spot on, right on it. So I will say that. So that's my guy, man. Teddy Atlas and Joe uh, Tessitore.
That's the tour. Yeah,
I love
I
those
remember
guys.
that.
So
I just remember hours of fight night, and then that would just be in my head. You know what I mean? You know what I remember the most is when you get knocked out and you're trying to stand up and you hear them. It's like, brother, I'm trying to survive out of here. No, it's great. That's pretty good.
do you got one more or not?
Yeah, I do. This one's an old one. A lot of people that are younger than that aren't really like into that stuff may not know, but it's in boxing commentator. It's Howard Cosell. Old school. A lot of people may know him going back and forth and bantering with Muhammad Ali, and they made it seem like they were not friends, that it was adversarial relationship in nature, but it was couldn't be more further from the truth. He kept challenging. Howard Cosell would constantly challenge Muhammad Ali, knowing that Muhammad Ali had the potential to like shut him up, right? And that when Muhammad Ali did that whole like open mouth, like when he won, Howard Cosell, he was doing that for Howard Cosell to some degree. You know what I mean? Because
Mm.
they had just done an interview. So, because he shocked the world, he said he would. So Howard Cosell, great. Again, he's from Like he was born like 1918 or something like that. Died in 1995. So he's from way back, right? Especially for the young folks like Mud out there. But but hey, cats go back way. We hit y'all too. This is the one place you subscribe and you get attacked.
Hey, Mud, he said young man. See, he went the
Yeah.
opposite. You ain't old, brother.
Yeah, you ain't old man. But Howard Cosell was another one where when he was commentating, it was before TV. So the way that he had to commentate was to paint the picture. And even when TV came, people often preferred to just listen to him because it was better. And so what's great about it. So Howard
Nah, he
Cosell.
he was good, man. And I watch a lot of boxing highlights, and yeah, man, and him talking, his interviews, um, and you know what it is too. That old microphone back in the
That
day
right.
just fits him. It's
The
just like,
quality of the sound and the way
yeah,
that he
man,
delivered it. Absolutely. And in every movie, that's how you see every movie you see from that era, the commentator sounds like him.
yeah,
And that's why.
it's true, it's
That's how
true.
you know you're great. They're like, oh, we need someone to sound like Howard Cosell. Do that. Yeah, that's what's great.
Yo, okay. As you were talking about Howard Cosell, I wrote a name down, and I'm serious. I wrote a name down just as you said that. So
Don't do it.
I do have some mentions though, right?
Okay.
And we probably don't have to touch up on it at all because we're already at the 1 hour. We're gonna call it, but I just want to say a couple of names real quick. The name that I just wrote down. It just dawned on me when you said Cosell.
Yeah.
Jim Ross from WWE. That dude. If
Mm-hmm.
anybody, do yourself a favor, look up Jim Ross and the way he commentated the with the King, Jerry King Lawler, Jerry the King.
Lawler.
Let me
Yeah.
just say the King.
King Lawler. Yeah. Yep. Right.
It
Yeah.
is classic. Like the stuff that he would say, it would be weird to say in today's TV. When he used to say the rattlesnake, that son of a bitch. Like I'm like, what? I'm a kid going, what is this guy talking about? So let me tell you guys something. Do yourself a favor, look up Jim Ross, and Gio, you as well. And I know when you get on YouTube later at night, bro, you look up Jim Ross, you're gonna thank me tomorrow. It is the greatest and most amazing.
All right. Hold it.
Jim Ross is he could easily been on my list. I'll say that easily.
Right.
But let me just throw a couple names and then we'll move on. Aqib Talib, the
Never heard.
cornerback, bro.
Oh, as a commentator. Yeah.
Man, he sounds like Little Wayne when he's commentating. I'll say it's a little ghettoish. I love it because it just hits me. You want to laugh
It's the
and hear
same dude
some real
snatching. That's
stuff?
the chain snatcher, right?
The chain
Chain.
snatcher, bro. You want to hear some real stuff during football games? That's the guy because he doesn't commentate from a football um, point of view. He does it from I play that position. That guy would never cut this ball if I just jam him this way, this way. I'm like, what? Like so he is amazing. And also Marv Albert, Troy Aikman, Tony Romo, Mark Jackson, Jeff Van Gundy with football, and one that I rest in peace. And this man made me laugh. Tommy Heinsohn that does a Celtics game. I love Walter and all that stuff, man. If you're a Celtics fan and you watch Celtics game, you would 100% understand. So,
Mm.
yeah, that's pretty much it. Gio, I don't know if you want to end it here or you want to give your suggestion and call it.
Yeah.
I don't have one for this
Yeah,
week.
no,
I'll save mine for
I
next
want to
week.
throw the suggestion out there, but real quick, couple of honorable mentions for me for that. Pat
Sure.
Summerall, because you said Al Michaels or Pat Summerall before,
I said Pat Summerall and John Madden. I put them together.
right? So
Oh yeah,
Al Michaels would be the other one, right?
true,
And
true.
then you got Dick Vitale, college football,
Oh my
Big
God,
championship, baby. Like you can't, you know
I
what
don't
I
know
mean?
how I didn't
That's
even
why
think of
that's
that.
why I had to tie it back in. I was like, you cannot say, can't not say
Dickie
Dick
V,
Vitale.
baby. I don't know how I
So-
did not. Wow. Whew.
Yeah, Dick Vitale's a good one.
Oh, I will say this. Listen, the only reason I did not mention any soccer at all because Mud, you have to understand, soccer is life to me. Like it. Listen, soccer and fishing is all I knew. Okay, the only reason I didn't say any soccer is I'm like, I don't think people will know who it is, and it's just be like, eh.
Hey,
So I
I
left
got
them
one.
out. So
I got one question. That commentator in soccer that yells goal, is that one guy or they go to a school for this? Do they go to school? Like you have to say it for a minute long or you don't graduate?
it's
Because I
one
think it's the
guy.
same guy
It's one
for
guy, one
10
breath.
years.
One
It's
guy,
like
one breath, man.
because I swear for years it was the same guy. I was like, it's
I
25 years later. There's no
I
way his
think
lungs are still strong.
I think he does swimming lessons to practice the goal.
Yeah.
Like you can't go for that long. Like who does
He
that?
holds his breath for 5 minutes just to be able to say it. I like it. I like the dedication. I appreciate it.
No, he's good too, though. He's good, man. Uh hey Mud, believe me, man. You should check out CV Tech One on YouTube, man. I'm going to be doing a lot of F1 racing in football, football
Mm.
reaction video. So check my channel out, man, if you can. But Gio, do you want to say
Yeah.
your
Um,
suggestion?
yeah, for the sake of time, and I just want to recommend it. For those that don't know, we recommend shows, things to do, places to go, and stuff like that. Um, and what I'm recommending is a TV show. It's on Netflix. It's called Snowflake Mountain. All right. So Snowflake Mountain, Snowflake, like what we call the young millenniums that, live with their moms and dads and don't know how to like life. Right. So just the premise of it is, I think it's 10 snowflakes get kind of tricked. Like they're gonna go on a reality show. You know what I mean? And it's gonna be like ritzy and expensive, and that's how they live. They're 21 to 25-year olds that live with their parents, have zero responsibilities, don't know how to take care of themselves, and expect things to be taken care of them. So what they do, they're gonna meet. Was it Joel and Matt? I think it's
Yeah,
Joel and Matt, the two guys. Yeah. So they
yeah.
meet Joel
Sounds
and
right.
Matt. These two guys, one is an old army vet, and the other guy is like an outdoorsy woodsman guy. So they're gonna take these 10 people, these 10 snowflakes, they're gonna melt them down and make regular people out of them, is what the goal is. So watch it and we'll talk about it next week. I'm already a week out of it. Tech just finished watching it. So y'all watch it. It's like 8 episodes. You could binge it. I promise you it's worth it. Tech has opinions. We want to save it for next week.
Yeah,
So we'll talk about it right off the jump, or something, or we'll fit it in. But watch it.
yeah.
Snowflake Mountain.
We'll talk about it. And the funny thing is, when Gio told me about the show, I actually we watched it in Discord. I know Gabby was in there, and we were just like, "What is happening? How is this happening?" And yeah, just watch it, and we'll talk about it next week. I'm like,
Yeah.
that show really pissed me off in so many ways, and I think I'll talk about that next week
Yeah.
because it
Also,
really did. So
some extra homework, right? So what I would like for the chat is tell me who first impressions, who you liked in the beginning, who you think, and also the second question is who you ended up liking in the end. So who you liked in the beginning, who you liked in the end, and who you think. Yeah, I'll just leave it at that. Those two, because I don't want to give away too many. Who you liked in the beginning and who you liked in the end and why.
yeah. Man, that show pissed me off. But yeah, we'll leave here, man. Appreciate you guys coming through, showing love and support. Also, Gio, you as well. Just
Yeah,
coming by,
man.
having a conversation. And on Discord, I'm gonna watch 90 Day Fiance episode 6. So we have if you need to put it this way, if there's a special event going on, some sort of like WWE or pay-per-view event, your boy got in Discord. All right, man, just come through. So right now we're watching 90 Day Fiance. Maybe I can throw this out as a suggestion. I watched P Valley. Whoo, man, P Valley. Very, very adult show.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Very, yeah.
It's
When I
like you
say
would like that.
P is a short word for
Capital
it.
P?
Oh yeah, capital P. Um, yeah, but there was some stuff in there. I was like, that ain't for me. I know it's 2022. That ain't for me. That's too much. But yeah,
Pineapples.
Yeah, bro, I was hitting the buzzer. I said pineapples. Nobody's listening to me. That thing kept going,
Stranger danger, blowing the whistle, hugging a tree. You're doing all the stuff,
bro. I was I I called 911, 411,
bro.
311. It just yeah,
That
it
was that
was.
was me in episode 1, season 1 of Euphoria. I was like, I can't. I'm a parent. I can't do this,
I still haven't finished it. I don't know if I
bro.
can. I don't know
I
if
was
I can.
like, I can't. That no.
Oh, yeah, Kilo was in there watching that with me. Kilo, I ended up watching the whole thing. I don't know, man. I think episode 5. That it was, it wasn't for me, man. Just I was like, you're a rapper. You can't be doing that to it. Anyway, um, but yeah, maybe watch P Valley. 90 Day Fiance. We'll watch that tonight. We'll 1 or 2 episode, and then I'll stream tomorrow. We'll be back. Please watch what Gio said about the Snowflake Show. Watch it, and I think the older folks is going to be like, oh boy, oh boy. If you're 25 and older, no, if you're 30 and older, listen, man, your blood pressure is going to be up here because mine certainly was, man, and yeah, it was not good, dude. I just couldn't take it. I just couldn't take it. So,
No.
but Gio's suggestion does that to me anyway. So no difference on this one. I think this one was probably even worse.
I found
So
this one to be more pleasing than the what was it called? Ultimatum. That one was
yeah,
I had to pause a couple times, but
nah.
I gotta walk away.
You know why? Because this I was that at one point, right? So when I
Not
watched
that.
that,
You
no, no,
weren't
no,
that.
no. I'm saying yeah, you're right. What I meant to say is when I watch it, I insert myself at that age
Right.
and go,
No. You're like,
"Excuse me,"
no. Yeah.
and I got nobody to yell at, and I'm just like, I can't do this.
So you're stuck with all this emotion and you can't do anything.
Yes, I said I can't do this. It's just
Yeah.
bad for me. It was bad for me. But I watched
That's
the whole thing, and then I actually ended up liking the end of it. I love the end
yeah.
of it. So.
Yeah.
All right, man. We'll leave it here for you guys. Have any questions? Just let us know. Watch the suggestion. Come back. Talk to us about it, man. And we'll be back next week. Yo, Gio, I got a quick question before we leave, though. Can
Yeah.
I ask you